Okay, today I'd like to talk about literacy 21st century. The era of globalization has caused many changes. Changes have occurred in the technology, economy, infrastructure, and education sector. Education changed that education is not only a vehicle for children to gain knowledge but also teaches children to be able to use the knowledge they have acquired in facing future challenge. Facing the challenge of the 21st century, education is needed because everyone must have critical thinking skill, digital literacy, knowledge and skills, information literacy, media literacy, and master information and communication technology. For the Indonesian people themselves, they are familiar with six basic types of literacy, namely literacy in literacy, numeracy, science, digital, finance, as well as culture and citizenship. At the basic stage, reading and writing are literacy known to human science the beginning because reading is the key to learning all knowledge, including daily information and instruction that have a major impact on life. Becoming a 21st century citizen requires not only consumption and access to information offline and online, but also full participation in contemporary media culture. Therefore, media literacy skills should be taught as part of formal education, incorporating media literacy into formal um, and and education has the potential to narrow the gap between digital divisions, to bridge diverse cultural groups, motivate learners to make connections across different disciplines, and to offer fairer and opportunities in a multimedia environment. The educational need of the 21st century teacher require a broader definition of technology to include object, print, audio, video, and digital media.
My talk will be in 6 parts. First, general skills and digital skills in the 21st century. General skills occurred after being investigated and analyzed include technical skills, information, communication, collaboration, critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving skills. In order to understanding of skill levels among workers, it is necessary to know the factors that determine an individual skills levels. The results indicate that there is a strong need for research on the determinants of communication and collaboration skills. In a digital context, creativity and critical thinking are almost unknown. Furthermore, the determinants identified from 21st century skill studies are limited to personality and psychological determinants and neglect, for example, social determinants such as social support. Changing the topic, the importance of reading early learning in 21st century education. Reading is one of the skills that must be possessed by students. The results showed that the beginning of learning to read was emphasized to be mastered by students. Considering that in the 21st century students must have skills, reading skill mastered can help students to think critically, solve problems, and master various available technologies. If students have mastered reading skills, will be more easier to achieve material, access information, and understand reading more quickly. Having reading skill indirectly, solving problem, and skill in using technology.
Now, let's look at 21st century skills and competencies in basic education. The findings visualizing the 21st century as a seemingly great era by the evolution of technology and ICTs, globalization, and need for innovation, consequently appeal to the need for students to develop relevant skills and competencies. It remains an important concern for educational institutions. Although special attention should be paid to maintaining a balance between the personal and social needs of individuals and their skills development oriented largely relate to professional achievement, especially in the context of major educational development. For instance, communication is discussed as an essential 21st century skills, but includes several levels, starting from communication in the mother tongue to skilled communication in the mother tongue, multilingual and skilled bilingual communication, communication in heterogeneous environments, communication in digital environments, result-oriented communication, innovation-oriented communication, and others. In fact, what gives the skill of communication its 21st century dimension is its combination with dimension of other skill and competencies from the other categories.
Building 21st century teachers. The educational needs of the 21st century teachers require a more widely cast definition of technology to include object, print, audio, video, and digital media. A more appropriate terminology for teacher preparation is media literacy because it encompasses the variety of technologies through which the learner access, analyze, evaluate, produce, and communicate information, as opposed to framing is merely the use of technology or the acquisition of technological proficiency. In addition to being technology inclusive, media literacy education is inclusive for all subject area. Media literacy education can help students and teachers better understand and communicate their understanding of math, science, technology, social studies, English, and 21st century literacy.
Okay, now is literacy education for the 21st century. The initial guiding motivation for changing the way students learn science was that they should be better prepared for college, career, and civic engagement in a pluralistic and democratic society that put considerable emphasis and trust into the notion of informed decision making by all. Only secondarily was the reform effort motivated by desires to base instruction in science more firmly on new evidence from research on teaching and learning.
Critical information literacy, a core skill for lifelong STEM learning in 21st century. In particular for younger men, gaming has become a major form of entertainment. In fact, in volume of sales, the computer and video game industry has surpassed the movie industry in the US, and young Americans aged 8 until 18 now play 73 min of computer and video game on average per day. Since learning from digital entertainment games rather than serious games specifically designed for science learning has been studied, but precisely what it is that players learn, the mechanism by which gamers learn science in these games, and the nature of the learning and the transferability to non-game situation is not well understood and was not the focus of either of the previously cities and RC reports.
In conclusion, the era of globalization has caused many changes from various sectors. To face the changes in the era of globalization, critical thinking skills, knowledge, digital literacy skills, and mastering information and communication technology are required. This is known as 21st century literacy. Literacy is the ability to read and write as well as the ability to choose or get information. Education plays an important role in facing the challenges of the globalization era. Therefore, digital literacy must be taught from education. Because literacy is a skill that must be possessed by students. Reading skill can help students think critically, solve problems easily access information, and master technology.